The moment a man starts feeling like he might lose her, his whole behavior usually changes before he even notices it. You can usually see the shift happen in real time, too. Checking your phone during workouts, rereading her replies, trying to figure out if the energy changed, opening the app again, even though you already know she still hasn't answered. And honestly, most men don't even realize they're reacting out of fear while it's happening, because in their head, they're trying to fix the connection. But from the outside, their energy starts feeling different almost immediately, less grounded, less calm, more emotionally crowded. That's the strange part about attraction. A lot of men think attraction disappears because they cared too much. Usually it's because fear changed the way they carried themselves, and panic changes men fast. Some men respond by becoming overly available, more texting, more reassurance, more explaining every little thing just to avoid tension. You can feel yourself doing it too, replying immediately even when you were busy before, double texting after 30 minutes pretending it was casual, sitting in the gym between sets checking whether she viewed your message yet. Other men react differently. Short replies, acting detached on purpose, talking about focus and discipline when really they just don't want to feel rejected again. And honestly, both reactions usually come from the same thing: fear of losing control of the connection. That fear changes behavior quietly, especially when a man starts feeling like his peace depends on one woman's attention. You can feel it when it happens. A good morning text affects your whole mood. A dry response ruins your focus for the next 2 hours. Canceled plans suddenly change your entire night, and part of him hates how easily one person can affect his emotional state that much, because deep down, he knows he wasn't moving like this before. That's the uncomfortable part. A lot of men slowly start organizing their emotional stability around somebody else without realizing it. That's usually when attraction starts collapsing, not because caring is unattractive, because once somebody controls your emotional state, your whole presence changes. You stop looking centered, and women can feel that shift fast. A lot of men slowly start organizing their emotional stability around somebody else without realizing it. That's usually when attraction starts collapsing, not because caring is unattractive, because once somebody controls your emotional state, your whole presence changes. You stop looking centered, and women can feel that shift fast. And honestly, that second shift changes people more than they expect, because after a while they realize how much anxiety they normalized inside relationships. A lot of men don't even realize how emotionally tense they became until the relationship finally calms down. That realization humbles people quickly, especially men who confuse emotional tension with attraction. You see it all the time. The relationship becomes emotionally unstable, and somehow the attachment gets even stronger. Now he's overthinking constantly, checking when she was last online, replaying conversations in his head while driving, pretending he's focused at work while mentally tracking energy shifts all day. And constant access makes this worse. Constant texting, constant updates, constant opportunities to react before you've even had time to think clearly. Some men respond by obsessing, maintaining closeness, always checking in, always available, always trying to reduce uncertainty immediately before it turns into anxiety. Other men slowly stop treating silence like danger. They put the phone down, go train, go handle business, let the emotions settle before reacting impulsively, not because they stopped caring, because they realized panic was making them abandon their discipline. That changes relationships a lot, because eventually some men realize the relationship only started feeling calm once they stopped trying to constantly hold it together. Not through pressure, not through chasing reassurance constantly, through emotional steadiness, through being able to stay grounded even when uncertainty shows up. A lot of men don't realize how emotionally reactive they've become until they spend a few hours away from their phone and notice how restless they feel without it. That moment wakes people up a little, because now they can finally see the attachment clearly, and once you notice it, it's hard to ignore. Some men respond by becoming more emotionally disciplined, less impulsive texting, less trying to solve every emotional discomfort immediately, more attention to whether the relationship actually feels peaceful to live inside. Other men start rebuilding parts of life they slowly abandoned while chasing reassurance, training consistently again, locking back into routines, reconnecting with ambition instead of obsessing over attention. And honestly, Both paths usually rebuild the same thing, self-respect, because eventually some men realized they weren't actually afraid of losing her. They were afraid of losing the version of themselves that felt confident, chosen, and in control. That's the deeper fear underneath a lot of attachment. And most men never say that part out loud. Most people around them probably can't even tell they're struggling. They still go to work, still joke around, still move through the day normally. Meanwhile, their entire mood is reacting to one person's attention. That realization frustrates a lot of men once they finally see it clearly, because now they understand they weren't just chasing connection anymore. They were chasing emotional relief, and once a man sees that clearly, relationships start affecting him differently, because now he's not trying to force certainty out of people anymore. He's paying attention to whether the connection actually feels emotionally healthy to live inside. That changes the way he shows up completely. Less chasing, less panic, less emotional shape-shifting just to hold on to somebody, more calm, more self-respect, more ability to let things unfold without trying to control every outcome. And ironically, that's usually when his presence starts feeling stronger again. Not because he became cold, because he's stopped letting fear control his behavior. And after a while, the real question stops being, how do I stop someone from pulling away? And becomes, how much of my behavior is actually me, and how much of it is panic pretending to be love?